Hi students, my name's Hannah Porter and I'm the Faculty Librarian for Business, and in this video I just want to take you through our business searching interface. So to access, I'm on my library website here in my subject area in the business section. On all of the business pages there is a getting started section, and in here you can find our business search. So if I click through to access, this database is much smaller than our main discovery interface because it's only searching our subscriptions in Business Source Ultimate and EconLit for economics. So because it's only searching those two databases, you should get much more relevant and fewer results if you're looking for something business related. So first, let's just explore some of the differences between this interface and the standard discovery interface. On Business Source, there's lots you can browse from the home page. So this is really nice. If you have a look through, if you want to find particular journals that you know are highly recommended, let's go into the Management Journals section. You can see coming up, we've got the Academy of Management Journals, Operation Research, again, more of the Academy of Management Journals, Strategic Management Journals. A lot of these are really top ones, so you can have a look through and browse, so that can be really helpful. You've also got an option to browse the business magazines, so we have things like Forbes and Fortune and the very popular Harvard Business Review. So you can click through and access all the latest content from those as well. There's also extra business content if you scroll down. So you can see you've got profiles, company and country profiles, you've got SWOT analyses, you've got case studies. So it's really helpful. This is surfacing some of that interesting business content that sits in this database that you don't find in Discovery. So if we click through in case studies, for example, if you want to find something out about Apple, just ignore that search, that's limiting it for you. Let's just type in Apple, and then you can see here you've actually got some journal articles with specific case studies using Apple, so that can be really helpful. Again, if we go back, I really like the SWOT analyses and the company profile, so let's have a look in these. So for example, let's have a look for Tesco. Straight away it's bringing up the company profile and bringing up related records. So if we go into the profile explore topic, you've got the top competitors listed, some company analysis, some results for Tesco's there, and of course you've got this company profile, which is really helpful as well. So really nice features if you want to quickly find out something about a company. Now also in the business search interface we have the AI conversational search. So you can actually use this to start some research on a topic. So if I ask it, for example, how do technological and economic and societal factors affect global businesses? Let's pop that in. So you can see it's come up with some useful points here, and each one is backed up with the citation. And what I really like is that you can see on the side here all of the results, and you can also see where they're coming from. So you can tell these are peer-reviewed academic journal articles, or where it's coming from just a trade publication or something else. So that can be super helpful. Just remember that you shouldn't be using this type of information in your assignment. Always go back to the original sources and check what they're actually saying and find and reference those. So lots of different things on the home page, but let's now have a look at the searching. One key difference in this database from Discovery is that it's defaulted to search outside of our library collection. So you will find things that we don't have access to, but that can be very helpful if you're doing a larger research project, but I'll also show you how you can limit it to just the stuff that we do have. So let's think about a search. I could build a search, something like leadership and employee motivation. So you can see I've put leadership as my main term, connected it with and then added employee motivation in quotation marks. So that looks at employee motivation as a phrase, looks at it together. So that's a more traditional library search. However, you can use the AI assisted search over here. And what we would do with that one is we would ask a question. So how does leadership affect employee motivation? Let's turn on AI assisted search and enter. Now normally you wouldn't get any results if you just typed a question without turning on the AI, but what this does is it takes your question and it then takes the keywords from the question and gives you alternatives. So you can see it's picked up, I should be looking for leadership or management, I should be looking for employee motivation or employee engagement. So that can be quite helpful, it does that for you. And then it also provides some other suggestions of questions that you might want to ask that will change your search. So every time you click on one of these suggested searches, it will redo it and give you different results, and you can actually check what it's searching for here. So that can be quite helpful again for getting started. What I would immediately suggest in this database, if you're using it to find journal articles, is click on linked full text and peer reviewed. So linked full text, those are the ones that we do actually have a subscription to, and peer reviewed means the quality ones. And then, perhaps last 5 years. Now, when you look through your results, this should be similar to the main discovery service. You'll see everything looks the same. You've got your access links, you've got your subjects telling you what it's about, you've got your AI insights giving you a little summary of the article, and you've got AI Ask where you can ask questions of the article. So that can be quite helpful as well. So you can see here I can summarize or ask particular questions, and you can ask your own question. So using the AI tools here and also the subjects and the abstract, you should be able to decide which of the articles that you want to have a look at. As I said before, do remember it's best to go in and read the actual article. Don't rely on the AI tools. They're just there to help you work out which are the best ones to read. So for saving, you will just bookmark on the side here. That will save the article so you can come back to it. Whenever you access this database, you will be asked to sign in with your university details, and then you'll see your name here. And under your name, you'll have your menu where all your saved items are located. So the other thing that's different in Business Source is you notice that you've got some filters along the top here for news and reports. So let's just do another search on leadership, for example. If I take off peer reviewed this time, because I don't want those articles, we can have a look in the news tab. And in here, you'll see lots of those news things coming up. And also in reports, you might have some company information and some other things coming up. So Business Source does have more than just journal articles. Okay, so those are the basics. Now let's think about some of the more advanced features. So we can go into the advanced search, and we can build a traditional search. So again, I'm going to have leadership, and I'm going to have employee motivation in my quotation marks. Maybe I want leadership styles, and I can put an asterisk on the end for leadership style or leadership styles. And maybe I want some alternative words, so leadership style or management style, a bit like the AI tool did for us with those and ors. Once you've had a go building your search, there are other options that you can use. So I think the subjects is super helpful here. So if we look for leadership in here, these are sort of what's known as the controlled vocabulary terms. So these sit under each article, and when you look on your results and you see subjects, this is where they're coming from. So if I go into leadership, you can see there's lots of different terms for leadership. So I've gone for leadership styles, but instead I could decide that actually I want authentic leadership and inclusive leadership, and then you can add those into your search and they'll come in here. And that DE, that means descriptor. That means you're just searching within the subject section. So it's a narrower search and can be really helpful. Publications is also good. So if you know you want to restrict your search to certain publications, you can. So for example, if we want to look for something in the Harvard Business Review, we can limit to just that one, and then we can just add it into our search. So I'm just going to look for now for leadership as a subject term and see how many we get. So 628. The other thing to think about are the filters here. There's lots of advanced options you can use. So I really like subject. That allows you to limit, so that can be very helpful. You've also got the option to filter by company, and you've also got the option to filter by industry. So that can also be quite helpful. So do have a look at those filters. Now, a couple of other things to say is with save searches and alerts. So if you've done a really good search and you want to stay up to date, if you have a look under the 3 dots here, you can actually save your search and create alert. So if you save search, so I'm going to save that. And then if we go into saved here, you'll see these are your saved records, your saved articles, but you've also got your saved searches here. And for the alerting, I think this is really helpful. You'll be emailed when there's new content that matches your search. Probably not daily. You might want weekly or monthly. You pop your email address in, check everything here, and then you will create alert. So the final thing with the alerts is if we go into publications again. So I've gone into browse by there. Let's look for Harvard Business Review again. And in the Harvard Business Review, up the top here, you can again create an alert. So that will let you know when a new issue is published and the table of contents for that. So it can be helpful for staying up to date. So I hope that has given you an introduction to the business searching interface. Remember, you can browse really nicely from the home page. You can do a quick search using terms or using the AI assisted option. You've got your advanced search for building comprehensive searches using subject terms and publications. And if you need any more help using this interface, do let me know. I hope you find it really useful for your business studies.